Hi everyone, in this video I will discuss the effect of the interaction of local and global influences on behavior. Although cultures have always interacted, humans in modern society are more interconnected than ever before due to technology, international trade and migration. The question is, how does this globalization process affect individual behavior? In order to understand this, one should first realize that this process to a large degree resembles acculturation. Acculturation is the process of cultural change when an individual acquires a new culture. It's usually used in the context of minority groups adapting to a dominant culture, but it can also be said that during globalization, individuals in local cultures are exposed to other cultures and have to decide how they should relate to them. Globalization may therefore influence the social identity of individuals. Due to globalization, it has been suggested that individuals are now developing a global or cosmopolitan identity. This construct refers to the extent an individual has awareness of global issues and feel connected to our global community or people in other places of the world. Our global identity stands in contrast to our local identity, which is a cultural identity rooted in a certain geographic area or nation. The conflict between our local and global identities is very similar to the acculturation process. Individuals may choose to integrate their values with other cultures, or they may choose to partly separate to maintain their original culture. The latter was demonstrated in a series of value surveys in the 1980s to 2000 that were studied by Adams in 2003. Adams found that cultural values of Canadians and Americans did not converge over time. In fact, they continued to be different, and in regards to some values, those differences became even more distinct. This can be understood in the light of social identity theory, which proposes that our self-esteem largely depends on our cultural identity, as well as our tendency to divide the world into in-groups and out-groups. It may well be possible that we are not cognitively capable of caring as much for people who do not belong to our in-group. The anthropologist Dunbar, for example, has suggested that on average humans are not capable of maintaining stable relationships with more than 150 people. Globalization is also related to our attitudes and behavior. Research by Grimalda, Bakken and Brewer in 2015 found that people who had a more developed global identity had better awareness of global issues such as migration, global warming and poverty. The local and global identity was measured through a questionnaire. In addition, individuals with a stronger global identity were also more likely to make economic decisions that were collaborative, as measured by their decisions in the public goods game. Perhaps this was due to a larger degree of trust in the other players, who were of different nationalities. The global identity of participants was also related to the extent of global networks or opportunity for global exchange that existed in the participants' country of origin. Collaboration at a global level is of essence to deal with the many problems in today's world. However, we also need to be mindful of the need for many people to maintain their cultural identity. Although we are neighbors in a global village, some may prefer to live in a different house.